Welcome to Neon Genesis Evangelion, where we in a half-drowned city in 2015 got a fuck ton of tanks as a broadcast declares a state of emergency for the Tokai region. We see a little jit boy there, he's about to go to a shelter, but see some blue-haired bitch vanish and a weird-ass looking thing pops out behind the hill. An angel. Don't look like an angel to me, but sure. Military starts blowing it up, but it seems to be tanking it. This kid is just watching the angel fuck up these ships when a bad bitch pulls up in a whip and gets him out of there. Military command essentially says fire everything. That was sick. This glowing glasses dude saying standard weapons ain't enough, and as the angel drops past the hill, bad bitch ducks down with the kid as they drop a so-called N2 mine when... Fucking hell. The explosion seems to have worked with the command celebrating as little jit Shinji and bad bitch Misato flip the whip back over and introduce themselves to each other. As the feed returns, however, they see it's in fact not dead, with their ace in the hole now rendered useless. Misato's pissed because her whip got fucked up. Glowing glasses dude observes as the angel seems to be regenerating from the blast. These two enter a secret compound. Apparently, Shinji's father works here as well, protecting humanity in his words. Military command lets glowing glasses dude Gendo take control because none of their weapons be working. Him, confident that his Nerve 1 unit will be more effective, who Shinji, his son, will be piloting. Misato gives Shinji a book to read about his role as they enter the underground Nerve headquarters. They get lost a bit and run into another bad bitch, Ritsuko, introducing her to Shinji. They yap about Unit 1's condition and shit. Whoa, big hand. Enter a dark room when... Shinji is shown the artificial human Evangelion, Unit 1, aka big-ass robot to fight the big-ass angel thing. Above it being Papa Gendo, saying to launch that shit now. Misato's like, whoa, who's gonna pilot the thing? Look down, dumbass. Shinji, you're up, buddy. Misato's confused because it took some other pilot, Rei, like 7 months to be able to pilot it, but with no other options, he's gonna do it now. Shinji asks his dad why he wants to do this, because he for sure don't want to, but dad's like, don't care, didn't ask, get in the robot or fuck off. Whole base starts shaking because the angel somehow found where they is. Despite some bad bitch support, he still refuses, leading Gendo to call upon that other pilot, Rei, instead. Door opens to some fucked up girl on a stretcher. That's Rei. The angel is still wreaking havoc outside, and the robot, despite being unpiloted, saves Shinji from some falling debris. Ooh. Ritsuko is confused as fuck as to how that happened. Shinji, seeing Rei in her dog condition and having literal blood on his hands, folds and agrees to pilot the mech. They slap him in there. He gets submerged in some weird breathable fluid as Eva 1 begins to be released. Gendo grins as Shinji is launched outside and comes face to face with the angel.
Shinji-kun.
Just throwing him in the deep end, eh? It's time for Shinji to get busy, takes his first steps forward, never mind, face plants. Angel picks his ass up and tries to rip his arm off, which he feels for real because of like some techno synchro shit. This kid don't stand a chance though, he's getting completely bitched. Impaled right in the head when... wakes up in a hospital. Repair crew is cleaning up Eva 1 as some meeting occurs talking about how angels have just now started returning after a 15-year hiatus, and if Nerve, the operation Gendo is head of, will succeed in defeating them. And about another project, the Human Instrumentality Project, the so-called last hope for humanity being top priority. Makes sense. Back to Shinji moping around in the hospital. How this nigga survived that beatdown, I cannot tell you. Only with memory loss, mind you, that whole thing gave blood a mild concussion. Misato gets update on his recoverings, picks him up from the hospital. Shinji's dad pulls up with a disappointed ass look on his face. I mean, he did what you asked, bro. What did you think was gonna happen? I forgot to mention, but this jit's 14 years of age. I couldn't be doing no shit like that at 14. Shinji's about to go to his room alone, but Misato intervenes and says he's staying with her. Can't complain. They grab some shopping and drive to some dope-ass view of the city as buildings begin to pop out of the earth. Pretty cool defense mechanisms. At night, they finally make it home. Shinji tries to settle in. Oh, she's an alcoholic. Nice. They have a meal, what are these shots? Play some rock, paper, scissors, and he gets harassed for his formalities. Shinji tries to have a shower, but a whole ass penguin is blocking him. What the fuck? His name is Pen, and he's apparently their other roommate. Back to HQ, Ritsuko and Gendo talking about Rei's recovery, like, she'll be fine in like a week. Sir, she's a child. The children yearn for the mechs, Ritsuko. Shinji's got his playlist on, trying to go to sleep, lamenting about everything that's been going on. We get a flashback to the fight. It's looking real bad for him. They want to abort it, but nothing's responding. Suddenly, Shinji locks the fuck in, with Eva 1 now seemingly pissed off. Charges in, but gets blocked by an AT field, repairs its left arm, and rips that shit open, tearing the angel's armor. It starts beating the brakes off him, and knowing it's been defeated, the angel pulls a kamikaze and blows itself up. But Eva 1 don't give a fuck. Walks that shit off with Gendo gleeful as a motherfucker. Its helmet pops off though, and underneath it, we see a living organism. That ain't no robot, what the fuck? Shinji's seemingly traumatized from the incident, with Misato trying to commend him for his success. He's back in the mech, does some practice shooting. I wonder how big the guns are if the mechs are like fucking massive. Bro's tired of it. Back to Misato's apartment, she's getting woken up by Shinji. Never mind, she's going back to sleep as Shinji goes to school. Been there 2 weeks and is still friendless, according to Misato talking to Ritsuko over the phone. Rei's in the same class as him. His schoolmates are yapping about the incident with the angel earlier. Shinji's just chilling, ignoring it though. They're suspicious of his coincidental transfer. Got a physics/history lesson when through the school's group chat or some shit, his classmates ask him if he's the mech's pilot, and he says yes. They all scramble to ask him questions. These two random kids mad because he's got all the attention, so they beat his ass for it later. Another emergency announcement occurs with another angel en route to Tokyo 3. The city gets ready for an attack, dropping down all the buildings, that shit is so cool, and proceed to evacuate everyone in the city. Big bug angel is zooming about, shrugging off all the artillery. Shinji gets slapped into EVA 1, but he's now depressed because he got bullied for it earlier. The kids plot to sneak out to see the fight as EVA launches. The angel's in the city with the kids spectating the showdown like, yo chat, you seeing this shit? Shinji drops a mag on it but gets sliced. Barely dodging. Catches him by the leg and flings him into the hill the kids are on. Angel pulls up, but he catches the whip things. Misato tells Shinji to put the kids in the mech and retreat. Them being in there fucked with the synchronization though. The angel runs away for some reason, but he ain't running. Ignores Misato's orders, grabs L knife and runs it down. Tanks that shit and stabs it in the eye, barely killing it before the EVA shuts down. Flash forward 2 weeks, the two kids saying Shinji ain't been in school lately. Oh, so now you care. Misato's waking up wondering about Shinji because he's been cooped up in his room for 5 days, and when she checks, bro ain't there. 5 days is a crazy time to wait to check, but sure. She sees the two kids, Ida and Toji, also checking up on Shinji. She recognizes them from when they were in the mech. They say their goodbyes, and she's mad at him for running away. Shinji's on a train listening to his playlist. The train line reaches end of service. He hops out and goes to a cinema, watching a couple. Back to just walking around. Here's some weird shit, runs off. Gets dropped off at some like farmland and aura farms a bit. Misato and Ritsuko talk about how only 14-year-olds can pilot EVA mechs, aka Rei and Shinji. Wonder what explanation we'll get for that, and hypothesizes about if he will return. After the fight, she was scolding him about disobeying orders, but he's like, fuck it, we ball bro, if it works, it works, I don't give a f. Ida's doing some RPing in wheat fields when he spots Shinji. They have a little campfire. He's a little jealous about Shinji's position. They bow asleep when their tent gets surrounded by nerve agents, and they reapprehend Shinji. Misato pulls up and asks, you gonna pilot the mechs or not? Maybe. If not, Rei will. Ah, fine. Nah, you gotta do it for the love of the game. And she leaves. Gendo's with Ritsuko, ensuring experiments continue with Rei as the pilot because Shinji ain't about. He resigns and gets dropped off in front of Ada and Toji, and he apologizes for hitting him, saying, get your licks in, G, it's only fair. With that out of the way, Toji appreciates him for protecting him with the mech. Gets taken away, but before he goes, he says, these two continue to debate if he's actually gone, and he's back at the train station. He's about to hop in the train as Misato pulls up, but he's gone. Or is he? Nah, he's just standing there. Bro even pushed it out of taking the train. This guy's scared of everything. Nice reunion. Flashback 22 days ago, Gendo's testing the EVA Unit 0 with Rei as the pilot, checking all the fucking Neuralinks and whatever, when something fucks up and it starts freaking out. They try to pull the main plug, but it's completely out of control. Punches through the observation glass, Rei gets auto-ejected out, crashes into the ground. Some gas calms down Unit 0 as Gendo pulls open the pod door and checks on Rei. You good? Yeah. We get some lore on Rei Ayanami. Apparently, she's the first subject chosen for the Evangelion project, that being Unit 0. In a big old facility, a dead angel was being researched as Shinji and Misato tag along, looking at weird patterns resembling similar DNA to humans. Shinji spots Papa and the burn he got from opening the door. Ritsuko catches him up on the Unit 0 berserk incident. Some school swimming activities got Rei looking left out. The boys are peeking at him, and they tease Shinji for looking at Rei, and ponder about why she's always alone. Routine checks with the Evas got Rei happily chatting to his dad, surprising him. Mealtime with these three. Misato fucked up the meal though. Even the penguins won. Ritsuko asks Shinji to give Rei her security card. Misato teases him a bit for it. In some brocked up apartment complexes, Shinji's ringing the doorbell, but no one's answering, so he just walks in calling for Rei. Sees a whole bunch of bloodied bandages, puts on some glasses and sees... smooth, and you fuck off please. Brother man snaps out of it and painfully explains how he's there to give her her card, but she fucks off. Bro's just following her around, eventually giving her the card as they pull up for work. Shinji wishes her good luck for her retrial in Unit 0 and says, what if it fucks up again? What, do you not trust your dad's work? Hell no, fuck that deadbeat ass dude, bruh. Damn. She suits up and gets ready to roll as the retrial begins. Things seem to be going well when... hey, she succeeded this time, good shit. Gendo gets told another angel is on the way. Alright, man the battle stations, you know, get battle ready. Some cuboidal ass angel is in the city. EVA 1 with Shinji gets deployed when... he gets a cuboidal laser blast out of nowhere. They quickly pull him back into the base, get him out the mech and check on him. Cuboidal angel pops a drill from its ass as they do some medicinal scans on Shinji or whatever. Try shooting it with mortars, but nope. They figure out that within a certain radius, cuboid bitch immediately beam blasts you. Misato's trying to figure out what to do as it continues to try to drill into Nerve HQ and will break through in less than 10 hours. It's going to take 3 hours to repair EVA 1, and EVA 0 still got errors, so both are useless right now. She has an idea to try and shoot at it outside its laser death range and asks for permission from Gendo. Sure, fuck it. Now she's asking for an experimental cannon capable of taking it down. EVA 0 goes to grab it, but some scientists are like, this shit ain't gonna work, bro. It needs like 200 gigawatts to be able to get through its AT barrier. Where are you gonna get that from, huh? How about the fucking entirety of Japan. Broadcast goes out saying all of Japan will be in a blackout for a little bit, as the entire country's power output will be used essentially as a battery for the cannon. Insane plan, but fuck it. Got a million wires stretched out as they make preparations, as well as a massive barrier for protection against the beam. Operation Yashima will take place on Mount Futago at midnight. Meanwhile, Shinji's still recovering from the beam blast. Rei pulls up, giving him the schedule of attack, a new suit, and food. He's all depressed though, like, oh, I don't want to pilot it. Alright, pussy, then I'll do it. Au revoir. Bunch of kids on the roof ready to spectate the fight as both Evas pop out the hill. Cuboid Angel still drilling. Got 3 hours now till it reaches HQ, as Shinji gets told he's doing the shooting whilst Rei plays defense. I swear to God if you fucking miss. All of Japan goes dark as these two aura farm next to their Evas. As the time hits midnight, the operation commences. All 300 billion booba watts get pumped into Shinji's sniper. He locks and loads that bitch and aims. However, the Cuboid also charges up when both shots redirect each other, causing Shinji to miss. He reloads, but before he can shoot, Cuboid beats him to it, with Rei barely blocking it in time. Shinji fires again, and Unit 0 got melted from the beam as Shinji rips open the door to find Rei. Seemingly okay? Hey, good shit. Gendo's calling some dude about derailing some free information act, while Shinji and Pen are having breakfast. Misato walks in, having her version of breakfast. They bicker about whose turn it was to make breakfast and how she's gonna go to his school for some like future meeting. Damn, they even got a parents' evening in Tokyo 3 and crazy. He leaves with his mates for school. Getting there, they see Misato pull up as well, and the entire class all oogle at her. Mommy, step on me please. Mommy. Booba. Back in Nerve, Shinji's curious about what the Evas truly are, as they're obviously not pure robot. My guess is that they're previously defeated angels, as Ritsuko talks about Eva Unit 2's delivery from Germany, which is arriving shortly. Meanwhile, Gendo's on a plane, being updated on geopolitics, as well as confirmation that council nations, except the US, have approved funding for Eva Unit 6. Damn, 6? We ain't even got to 2 yet. We get a look at the second impact's crater, where Antarctica should be, as Ritsuko tells Shinji the lore, like, 15 years ago we saw an angel there, tried experimenting, and it exploded. Now we're trying to avoid that happening again, aka the reason for Nerve and the Evangelion. More breakfast. Misato's looking more formal, going to old Tokyo for work, lands with Ritsuko and attends a presentation of a new weapon. Ritsuko proclaims her skepticism, but presents as like, better than them dangerous, uncontrollable Evas you got there. Plus, what's with the whole 14-year-old pilot shit? Misato's mad about getting embarrassed. The new weapon is presented, called the JA, and they all observe it as it starts walking about. So far so good, but some complications emerge, and when they try to shut it down, it doesn't care, and walks right through the observation deck. Misato jumps right into action, saying to get the kill switch permission, and he calls his superior, but it's going to take a while, and it's still strolling about. Eventually, he tells her the kill switch code, and she calls in Eva 1 along with Shinji, telling him, just pop me on its noggin and I'll sort it out from there. Dead ass? Yeah, it's fine. Eva 1 gets deployed, runs over to JA with less than 4 minutes before it goes kaboom, grabs it, slaps Misato on its noggin. She nearly stacks it, but locks it and gets inside, enters the kill switch, but shit don't work. She concludes it must have been tampered with. Damn, I wonder what organization would want to sabotage their competitors' tech for their benefit. She says fuck and tries moving the control rods by hand, and just before it explodes, it stabilizes. With the issue solved, we got Ritsuko reporting to Gendo that everything went according to plan. Told you. Breakfast number 3, Misato's back to her regular business, with Shinji leaving for school mad at her for her bum behavior, but his mates are hyping him up, saying, if he's doing that type of shit around you, that means you're family, bro. Cheering him up. More business talk with Gendo as Shinji's in a helicopter with his school buddies. In Misato's words, they're headed for a cruise in the Pacific, and we see a whole fleet of military vessels. On one of them, a certain girl awaits. They land, and Ida's geeking out about all the military equipment, and Toji chasing him runs into that girl. Misato introduces Shinji to Eva Unit 2's pilot, Asuka Langley Soryu. Some weird greetings later. They all meet the captain, and Misato thanks him for help with transporting the Eva 2. They bicker a little about who's in charge, as this dude Kaji walks in, who Misato seems to have history with. In the cafeteria, Kaji tries to make small talk with her, but she ain't talking to him. Instead then, he leaks embarrassing shit to Shinji, like, did you know she rips ass when she sleeps like 24/7? He glazes Shinji about being the only Eva pilot with no prior training and leaves. Asuka tells Shinji to follow her, showing him the hot red Eva 2 mech, calling it the first true Evangelion, because the other two are technically prototypes. All of a sudden the ship starts shaking. As they go to check it out, they see ships around them getting obliterated. With an angel threat emerging, the captain orders the fleet around with Misato in the background saying, need any angel advice? Fuck off, you sure? Regular weapons still ain't cutting it, as more ships are getting destroyed, with Misato hypothesizing that the angel might be after Eva 2. Wonder why. Asuka drags Shinji to some stairs, hops in her Eva suit, and chucks Shinji one saying, you're coming with me, motherfucker. He's like, are you sure we should do this? Stop being a pussy and getting the goddamn robot. They hop in, she starts speaking German. Someone translate this, please. Netflix gave me no subtitles, so I have no idea what the fuck she's saying. Probably some activation sequence, I can only assume. It starts spouting errors, so she gets mad at him for thinking in Japanese, not German. What the fuck? After some calibration, it starts to launch, much to Misato's glee. Angel starts coming right for them, so they hit a quick dodge with only 60 seconds of power. Eva 2 hops from ship to ship, grabs a power extension lead, and Asuka backs out the shank. The Angel beelines right towards them, jumps out the water and onto the craft, Asuka barely stopping it, but it dives back down into the sea, taking Eva 2 with it. Misato warns against underwater combat as it's not built for that, whilst they thrash around on the seafloor. The power cable runs out of length, forcing them off the Angel as Asuka loses track of it. Meanwhile, in a jet, that Kaji guy is fucking off with an apparent delivery to do. The Angel starts circling back to them, but as Asuka tries to move Eva 2, nothing happens, because they're underwater. Nice going, retard. It opens its mouth and chomps down on it. However, Misato tells them to stay caught in its mouth because she has a plan. They're going to try and lure the Angel into point blank range of 2 battleships, rip open its mouth, and let it loose, hopefully killing it. I agree. The ships get into position, the power cable was reeled in, dragging Eva 2 up to the ships. With time running out, Shinji and Asuka work together to pry open its mouth when... Sick. Now at the harbour, Shinji's mates tease him for his matching suit with Asuka. Kaji meets with Gendo, giving him some secret briefcase containing... Now in school, much to their surprise, Asuka shows up, also having now been transferred. She's now the talk of the school, being the newest transfer student, strolls up to Shinji, asking where Rei is, saying yo to her as well, wants to be friends, but Rei being Rei is indifferent. Back at Nerve, Kaji's smooth talking Ritsuko, with Misato looking unhappy, saying, ain't your job here done, please fuck off. No can do, new orders got me stationed right here. Another Angel's on the attack, but they still ain't fully recovered from the cuboidal bitch. Instead of waiting around this time, they're going right to it, with Eva 1 and 2, Shinji and Asuka. Get dropped.
Superhero landing!
And from the water, Angel number 7 emerges. Shinji's giving supporting fire as Asuka charges in with a spear, slicing it in half. Well, that was easy. Never mind. Splits in 2. Cut forward to a combat review. Apparently both Eva 1 and 2 got completely folded. They play the blame game over whose fault it was. The military tried an N2 mine from episode 1, but it only took like a third off of it, so it's still alive and well. Meanwhile, Misato's getting buried in post-combat paperwork. Shinji gets home to see a bunch of boxes with Asuka having moved in. Misato also comes back and sits him down to discuss battle plans for Angel 7. Pretty much, you gotta strike it twice in its core, whilst it's divided in 2. This plan's gonna need some real teamwork from them too, because shit's gotta be timed perfectly, which is why they're now living together, much to Asuka's refusal. And to learn how to attack perfectly synchronized, they're gonna memorize an attack pattern to the beat of a song in 6 days. Misato pulls up with Rei and they all have a little tea whilst these two continue to train. Asuka's had enough though, like fuck this, I can never sync with this dipshit. Alright, bet, Rei, you're up. Sure. Shit, they're pretty good. Asuka storms out and Shinji checks up on her. Now brimming with spite, she's determined to accomplish this synchronization and we get a little training montage. Now with the battle tomorrow, and Misato out for work, Asuka divides their sleep quarters with the door and hits the hay. At night, Shinji sees her go toilet when... the fuck? He nearly kisses her, but she starts asking for her mum in her sleep. No shit, you're both 14. I get it though, she does try to act more mature. In an elevator, Kaji's getting busy with Misato. Damn, knee between the leg tech, this guy knows balls. She's like, we ain't together no more, so don't do that again. But Mr. Riz hits a smooth rebuttal like, you said no, but your lips say yes, so which one do I believe? She has a little chat with Ritsuko about Kaji, talking about how it's been 8 years since they dated. Morning cometh, the day of the battle, as Angel 7 reaches another defense line. But with their sync training complete, Shinji and Asuka are ready to roll. Eva 1 and 2 are launched, and with some perfectly synchronized movements, backed by some classical tune, in exactly 62 seconds, they finish it off with a beautiful double kick to the core. A grand success. Oh, rough landing though. Still works. Asuka's with Kaji doing some shopping, talking about a school trip to Okinawa. Back at Misato's apartment, Asuka's mad because she can't go on the field trip because obviously she's got to be on standby for another Angel attack. Shinji don't care though because he saw it coming. Their classmates depart from the trip. Meanwhile, at Nerve HQ, Rei's doing some swimming at Shinji's studies when Asuka pops in. Gives Shinji some help with his thermal expansion homework and goes for a swim. Above a volcano, a helicopter takes some pictures, with Nerve HQ examining the shadows and growing concerned. Misato's on the scene observing some craft sinking into the volcano, taking sensor readings before it's crushed under pressure. Enough scanning to confirm though the presence of an angel in the volcano. Secret meeting got the folks concerned about going on the offensive with angels, with what happened in Antarctica, the second impact. But Gendo sees it as a golden opportunity to take the fight to them, whatever that means. Because the angels seem to appear in an underdeveloped stage, they're going to try and capture it alive for research instead of killing it. Where did they say it was? Inside a volcano. Oh yeah, this is going to go smooth as fuck, I'm sure. Asuka is assigned to the capture mission solo in the Eva 2, with Eva 1 on sub duty. Asuka suits up with special heat resistance applied to her suit and Eva 2. She's like, fuck it, let Shinji do this instead. I can do it. Never mind, I'll do it for fuck's sake. Damn, what's she hating on Rei for? Eva 1 and 2 get deployed as Kaji talks about some A-17 declaration allowing for asset freezing, whatever the fuck that means. Shinji spots the United Nations Air Force above them, because if they fuck with it, they're gonna clean up with the big bombs, the N2s. Figures. Asuka gets repelled down into the magma with Shinji watching from the sidelines. Eventually, she makes it to the predicted location, but it ain't there, so they keep descending. Shit's starting to break because they're going further than the operational limit. Loses her shank because of it though. The scientists are like, yo, she can't go no further. Nope, she can, she will. Let's keep her going. Eventually, Asuka spots the angel and prepares to capture it. Grabs that bitch, and they start ascending. When... starts hatching. Asuka is forced to drop the cage as it escapes, with priority now moving from capture to elimination. It charges at her, but with no shank, all she can do is dodge. Shinji chucks his knife down for her to use. She grabs the knife and blocks with her arm, but it latches on with another and bites down onto Eva 2. She tries stabbing into it, but its high heat resistant makes it too tough to penetrate with the knife. Instead, using the principles of thermal expansion she was talking to Shinji about earlier, shoves a coolant pipe into it and stabs again, this time making it through its core, eliminating it. Quick thinking, good shit. However, before it died, it ripped apart the lead containing Eva 2 to the surface, and just as it snaps and she drops into the abyss, Shinji clutches up, saving her. At a hot spring, Shinji opens a parcel from Kaji, being Pen, and they all chill out after a tough shift at the old 9 to 5. Is being an EVA pilot a 9 to 5 job? Probably gotta be more, right? Hey, are they getting paid for this? They better be. Ritsuko's now on a train with her scientist buddies, talking to the deputy commander about council votes, as well as an upcoming trial for EVA 0. Emergency failures got them trying to pinpoint where EVA 0 is going wrong. These two flirtily bicker while Shinji calls his dad about parents' evening in school, but he couldn't give a fuck. When a power outage occurs, affecting all of Tokyo 3. Literally everything has gone off. The elevator, the main base, even the fucking traffic lights. And when the kid crew tries to enter HQ, obviously that ain't gonna work either. Ritsuko goes to investigate as Gendo hypothesizes that this was done on purpose, just as the UN spots Angel number 8 as it reaches land. Remarkable timing. All phones are dead, so they can't even communicate. Asuka affirms herself as group leader, and when they reach a shut door, we get this classic scene.
Shinji, crank that, soldier boy.
Soldier boy, tough.
Angel 8 still advancing, some spider-looking motherfucker, with the UN wondering what to do with no comms from Nerve. Scientist Mr. Hugh, hearing the Angel warning broadcast, realizes he's gotta let Nerve know ASAP. Meanwhile, Misato's stuck with Kaji, still flirting despite the given circumstances. I guess realistically, what else can he be doing right now? With no power, the heat's starting to get to them, but these two stay aura farming. Hugo found a ride and is now beelining to Nerve HQ to warn them. The deputy commander's saying how this situation under regular circumstances is completely impossible, so this citywide blackout was definitely done deliberately. Kid crew are strolling through some tunnels when they hear Mr. Hugo's warning of the Angel 8's immediate arrival. They take a shortcut while Shinji hypothesizes what the Angels truly are. I can't even guess at this point myself, to be honest. Reach 2 tunnels going right and left. I'd go right. They follow Asuka reaching a door when come face to face with Angel 8. Hugo finally makes it to HQ, warning them of the Angel that's literally out their doorstep, and Gendo leaves to go get the Evas prepared. Back in the tunnels, they follow Rei this time, whilst Asuka blabbers about Rei having special treatment and looking down on her, both of which are untrue. Gendo and some workers are manually booting up Eva 1 as the kids reach a dead end, instead going through the air ducts, popping out in front of Ritsuko with the mechs ready to roll from a bit of good old diesel. All Evas crawl out and up to the surface, but just before they reach the top, acid pours down from above them, sending them crashing down, with Shinji barely halting their descent. Angel 8 is right above them. With no rifles and 3 minutes on the clock, Asuka forges a plan. She plays defense, neutralizes Angel 8's AT field and protects Shinji. Rei's gonna support by grabbing the rifle that fell and give it to Shinji. Finally, Shinji will get the gun, shoot and kill Angel 8. Simple as that. Plans a go as Asuka blocks the acid attack, Rei grabs the blicky, tosses it to Shinji and shit, it really was that simple. Meanwhile, Misato's freaking out in the elevator as the power finally returns. Ritsuko and the kids do a little stargazing as the lights return to Tokyo 3. Flashback to 15 years ago, the year 2000, some guy is putting his daughter in a capsule when what the flying fuck? The second impact flashes out. Oh, that was Misato. Okay. Got Shinji's buddies at his house waiting out the rain. Misato walks in talking about some harmonics testing later, whatever that means. Ida congratulates her on her promotion from captain to major. These two are clueless about it though. Kid crew's doing some testing. I'm assuming that harmonic shit Misato was talking about. Apparently Shinji's results are superb, nearly surpassing that of Asuka. Ritsuko commends him for his progression as Asuka storms off. Back home they have a little party celebrating Misato's promotion. Kaji and Ritsuko also pull up offering their congratulations. Turns out it's only kind of because Gendo and the deputy commander are out of Japan right now, so she's just holding down the fort. They are at Antarctica, or what was Antarctica. The fucking sea is now blood now on some Kaled shit because of the second impact. They get a broadcast about an Angel sighting in the Indian Ocean. Never mind, above the Indian Ocean, that motherfucker's in space. It's dropping bombs on the Earth, calibrating its shot, because just like the rest, it's probably gunning for Nerve HQ. When it calibrates, it's just going to drop itself, obliterating the entire city at once. Misato, now being commander, orders evacuations. In the toilet, Ritsuko questions her plan plan to send all 3 Evas at it, but she's confident in the mechs.
自分のためでしょあなたの使徒への復讐は
Ooh. Kid Crew are gonna catch the falling Angel 9 bomb in midair using their AT shield to survive the blast. These plans keep getting more and more absurd. They agree, and Misato promises a steak dinner for their success. But Ray don't like meat. Fucking Debbie Downer. HQ's having a hard time tracking the bomb angel because of some fuck-ass RV jamming from it. This wide-ass range is all they got, and they're being placed around it purely off of Misato's womanly instinct. Pull up to their Evas talking about why they pilot them. Cool shot. They're waiting around now as Shinji thinks back to when Misato explained why she joined Nerve. Pretty much, her dad is who we saw in that flashback earlier, gave his life to save her, and despite her complicated relationship with him, her purpose is now to defeat the angels for causing that calamity. Finally, the bomb angel gets spotted, so they prepare to intercept depending on where it lands. Awesome running sequence. Shinji gets right underneath it, pops his shield at max capacity and holds it up. Asuka and Rei join him shortly after, grab the shank, stab it into him when... it leaves a big old crater, but apart from that, mission success. She reports to Gendo and Deputy Commander, and they commend her for the operation. Gendo also commending...
よくやったな、シンジ。
Hey, good shit, lad. They have a victory ramen meal, with Shinji declaring his reason for piloting is to get more approval from his father. Oh, that's one slippery slope of an ideology. Back with Ritsuko and her team doing some tappy-tappy on the computers, Misato pulls up asking about some diagnostic testing on the Magi's. Probably should have mentioned this. The Magi's is like these supercomputers that help make decisions and give data and info and shit. You could see it as the brain of Nerve HQ. So far, so good. All systems looking green. She's also got the Kid Crew butt naked to test some autopilot tech with the Evas. Some test for harmonicas from just their bodies and not the Eva suits. They begin with the Magi's assisting with the test, but inside the imitation mechs for the experiment, the kids feel that something's off. While the test runs, Ritsuko gives Misato lore on the Magi, saying she only got the systems running, but it was her mother who came up with the idea and built them. Deputy Commander's observing as they identify some contamination in a protein wall or something, but it ain't affecting the test, so Ritsuko wants to continue when...
どうしたの
the corrosion in the wall is spreading rapidly, causing her to abandon the test and try and seal it in. Suddenly, Rei's imitation body starts moving on its own and tries grabbing Misato, but Ritsuko pulls an emergency lever, blowing its arm off. They continue to try to seal the corrosion, but it's blocked by an AT field. Huh? Turns out the corrosion itself is a goddamn angel, which has now taken over Rei's imitation mech. Gendo saying, fuck. Okay, tell the government it was just a false alarm. Do not let this infiltration leak. Huh? Get it? Leak. That shit's still spreading, with Gendo getting concerned about its proximity to Adam, that first weird human thing Kaji gave him, and orders immediate launch of all Evas despite it being currently pilotless, with Eva 1 being a priority so they too don't get corrupted. Misato and Ritsuko discover it avoids locations with oxygen, so it may be its weakness, but as they pump O2 into the testing chamber, it starts spreading again, now consuming the oxygen itself. What the fuck is this thing, Maharaga? How did it adapt so quickly? As well as this, their computers start being hacked, with the contamination angel also being the culprit, as it starts visually resembling computer circuitry. With subcomputers out the way, it starts hacking into the Magi supercomputers. Gendo orders a complete shutdown to prevent it, but when they try, even that fails to work. It breaks through the first part Melchior, and just before it reaches the second part Balthazar, Ritsuko orders some crazy code reversal, halting the hack. They now got 2 hours before it's back to reprogramming the entire Magi system. Ritsuko speculates that the angel is a composition of millions of nanomachines together forming AI circuitry, giving it remarkable hacking abilities. These things are constantly adapting and evolving to fit any and all given circumstance and situation. Actually fucking mini Maharagas, holy shit. Misato is saying the only way to destroy this type of angel would be to sacrifice the Magi system with it. Of course, Ritsuko's heavily against that idea. Instead, she offers an alternative. Accelerating its evolution may lead it to either self-destruction or coexistence with the Magi itself, using a program built into the last part of Magi, Casper. Ritsuko opens up entering its hardware with physical developer notes from the past assisting with the creation of the accelerator program. While she's working away, she drops more lore to Misato about a human personality-induced organic-based computer system. Used to pilot the Evas, was first used in the Magi and also developed by her mother. Word superside, her mom's personality is basically inside Magi itself.
言ってみればこれは母さんの脳みそそのものなの
Crazy. Their time is up, however, as Balthazar is taken over and starts hacking into Casper. With 10 seconds before self-detonation and some last-second genius from Ritsuko, it cancels itself. The Techno Angel evaporates, with these three having been stuck inside the test room the whole time. I wonder what they were doing this whole time, just chilling there, I guess. Flashback to the third Angel Sachit. Remember this dude? Get a replay of Shinji's fight with it, and its rage-induced attack taking it down. Then the fourth Angel with them deadly whips, giving Eva 1 a run for its money. Fifth Angel, cuboidal bitch, with Rei saving Shinji's ass for him to deliver the killing shot. Sorry, where is this going? Sixth Angel, the fish thing, with Asuka dueling it in Eva 2 underwater. Seventh Angel, Mr. Duplicate, needing some proper teamwork from Asuka and Shinji to bring it down. Eighth Angel, Magma Man, tried to capture it, but it hatched, leading Asuka to take it down with some thermal expansion tech. 9th Angel, the spider guy, took the whole team to take him down. 10th Angel, Bomber Dude, 3 of them using AT shields protecting them from the blast, killing it in the process. Finally, the 11th Angel, being Mr. Maharaga, adapting and hacking its way into Nerve HQ. Got one of them council meetings with them discussing the 11th invasion, but Gendo flat out denies it. They're like, are you sure about that? Yeah man, check the records, there's nothing.
全てはゼーレのシナリオ通りに。
Whatever that means. Ray's given a monologue about shit like the sky, the sun, the flowers, red sky. She don't fuck with red apparently.
これは誰？これは私。私は誰？私は何？私は何？
Hella philosophical stuff here. Forgive me if I'm understanding this wrong. I think she's like losing her identity, saying stuff like she doesn't recognize herself. She's in either one, with Ritsuko conducting another test. Seems to be a success though. Both Asuka and Shinji also having the same test, with Shinji in either 0 instead of 1, because Rei was in 1, and Unit 2 is only compatible with Asuka. They keep going with the test as Ritsuko talks about moving forward with some dummy system plan, which her underling seems to be against morally. Shinji starts getting visions of Rei when again, either 0 rips out of its containment and starts freaking out, seemingly rejecting Shinji entirely. Starts punching at Rei through the wall before it's fully shut down.
まさかレイを殺そうとしたの？
Ritsuko just wants to run it back, with Rei instead trying to resync it back to normal.
0号機が殴りたかったのは私ね、間違いなく。
I don't know, looked very much like it was going for Rei. Shinji wakes up in hospital. Deputy Commander and Gendo talk about the council's pressuring for info.
全て我々のシナリオ通りだ。問題ない。
You know, I'm getting real Eisen vibes from him. He reports that the resync to EVA 0 with Rei was a success, Project Adam is running smoothly, and that the Spear of Longinus, which Rei is apparently handling, whatever the fuck that is. Also, who is Seal Man? And what was that shit earlier with Rei? I'm so confused. In a chopper, these two discussing future plans about Adam's smooth progression and the beginning of the dummy plugs by EVA. Is that the thing Ritsuko was talking about? Deputy Commander's like, what about the human instrumentality project that's being scheduled? No. It's fine, everything's connected anyway, it's all going according to plan.
レイもか？
Ah, I got him there. Kaji's in Kyoto meeting with his like informant about an abandoned biotech firm that's been empty for like 9 years and about the Marduk Institute, which was established to find Evangelion pilots. She's telling him his job is to investigate Nerve, not Marduk, but he's too curious to leave that be. Meanwhile, Asuka's trying to bait him into meeting up. She gets asked on a date by one of her friend's friends or something, or Shinji's watching Rei clean. More tests! The girl's talking about a wedding and what to wear. Finishing the test, Shinji's got to meet with Papa Gendo tomorrow, and he's asking Rei about it. Fuck if I should know.
掃除の時さ、今日の雑巾絞ってたろ？あれってなんかお母さんって感じがした。
What the fuck kind of statement is that? At home, Asuka's chilling with Pen Pen, talking to Misato about her date tomorrow, as Shinji's lamenting about his fatherly meeting. Misato tries to support him, saying, you just gotta keep going, man. Next day, they all depart, leaving poor Pen Pen alone. Misato's at that wedding with Ritsuko and Kaji arriving late. Out in a graveyard, Shinji's with his dad, visiting his mother's grave. It's pretty bleak. You don't even remember what she looks like. They talk briefly.
人は思い出を忘れることで生きていける。だが決して忘れてはならないこともある。私はその確認をするためにここへ来ている。
And Gendo dips.
今日は嬉しかった。父さんと話せて。
そうか。
Prick. Back at the crib, Shinji's playing the cello, gets supported by Asuka, who's back from her date. She left like halfway through. I would call her a bitch for that, but she's 14, so dates don't really exist at that age. Although I'm noticing she is weirdly infatuated with Kaji for some reason. Back with these three, out having a drink. He's reminiscing about his time with Misato, but Ritsuko, knowing he was in Kyoto, warns him not to dig too deep. Later that night, Kaji carries Misato home, eventually walking by herself. She's talking about her desire to break free from her father, doing a whole lot of yapping. Kaji gives her a smooch, which she seems to accept this time. Meanwhile, Asuka coldly asks Shinji,
ねえシンジ、キスしようか。
they do? But Asuka immediately washes her mouth after. Harsh. Kaji drops Misato home. Asuka wants him to stay, but he denies her request, leaving her feeling rejected. Next day in school, Rei is nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, in Nerve HQ, in some underground lab or some shit, Rei's in a fucking test tube in front of Gendo. We're not getting an explanation for this, sure. Kaji's trying to snoop around in Nerve, but Misato catches him lacking. Now knowing he has 2 jobs here, one at Nerve and one working intelligence for Japan's ministry. Misato says give it up or die, but Kaji rebuttals with, sure, sorry for keeping secrets, but your Commander Gendo has a few secrets of his own, opening the door, revealing whatever the fuck that is.
アダムだ。
アダム、あの第一使徒がここに。
Adam, the first motherfucking angel.
確かに、ネルフは私が考えているほど甘くないわね。
Fucking understatement of the century over here. Shinji's cooking up some food at home, getting berated by Asuka for being Shinji or some shit. Misato's just drinking in the middle. Even more tests. Shinji has now successfully surpassed Asuka in terms of synchronization. Rei don't give a fucking dips, or Asuka's a little butthurt about it. Fun fact, you may have or will notice that this episode's quality is lower than the rest. I'm here to say that that's not my fault. The actual original 16mm film of this episode was lost, so they had to use an inferior copy for all subsequent digital transfers. In some people's eyes, this quality change ironically perfectly matches the eeriness of this episode, as you'll soon see. Alright, anyway. On a bus, Shinji's getting teased as a weird black sphere emerges. Yep, that's angel number 12. It's just casually floating around, all levers are deployed, and carefully observe it. Asuka prunes Shinji to have at it now that he's the highest sync rate, and he falls for it. Leading the assault, takes a few pot shots, but it vanishes, and a shadow pops right below Shinji, swallowing him up. Eva 2 and 0 run out to help, but the shadows consume the entire city. Misato orders them to fall back. They regroup, with Ritsuko saying he has a maximum 16 hours inside Eva 1, whilst they continue to monitor Angel 12. Asuka blames Shinji for his downfall. Rei steps up like, chill out, bitch. Make me. Meanwhile, Shinji's just kind of chilling in a white void. He's down to like 5 hours left on life support. Big brain Ritsuko hypothesizes that the shadow is the Angel's true body.
内部はリラックの海と呼ばれる虚数空間。多分別の宇宙に繋がってるんじゃないかしら。
These angels are always one-upping the previous one, eh? Now we got a universe hopper. What's next? Golden Experience fucking Requiem? Shinji's freaking out as his life support starts failing. Ritsuko's big brain conclusion is to drop literally every N2 mine they have to disrupt and destroy the angel and its Dirac C, and at the same time send Eva 0 and 2 to grab Eva 1 using shields for defense against the blast. This plan focuses only on recovering Eva 1, not Shinji. It would probably kill him, leading Misato to smack the shit out of her for suggesting such a dumbass plan and asking why she and Gendo care so much about only Eva 1. Ritsuko seizes command of the operation.
セカンドインパクト保管計画アダムまだ私の知らない秘密があるんだ
As are we all. Shinji's tweaking out, hallucinating, talking about different types of Shinji, similar to Rei's monologue or similarly confusing. Thinks about Papa Gendo a bit and argues with himself. Ritsuko is pushing the plan forward, trying to beat Shinji's life support timer. He wakes up in his pod, cold, tired. Some glowing girl pulls up.
お母さん
His mother? Outside, preparations are nearly complete when Angel 12 starts spazzing out, and from inside it, Eva 1 fully rips its way out. The crew can only look in fear at the monstrous Eva 1 as it rages out. Shinji sees Misato having been freed from the Shadow Realm, and she's pretty happy bro didn't die. Meanwhile, Eva 1's getting hosed down as Ritsuko and Gendo discuss the Evangelion.
レイやシンジ君がエヴァの秘密を知ったら許してもらえないでしょうね。
What that mean? Again, Shinji wakes up in the hospital, this time with Rei by his side and Asuka outside having a peek.
取れないや血の匂い
Misato's now reporting to the council about her actions and choices involving Shinji in the big black ball angel incident. They're concerned about the whole spiel, validly so, like I've been saying, these angels only be getting weirder. But Misato's answers satisfy them enough to let her leave. Gendo's now saying how due to the angels' growing intelligence, time is running out, or whatever the fuck they be planning. At school, Ida ain't in attendance, so Shinji asks Toji, where the fuck he at, bruh? He said something about a battleship called the Myoko, I don't know. At Nerve, shit's really hit the fan, as Deputy Commander gets told the entirety of the second branch has vanished, and when they check the feed, sure enough, that shit's gone. That shit being thousands of people over 90 kilometers, having also taken the EVA Unit 4 with it. Ritsuko predicts it's a similar situation to the big black ball angel with its infinite Dirac C. Misato rebuttals, saying they were experimenting with a prototype S2 drive that could have also done the job. They continue to talk about how the US government shipping EVA Unit 3 over to Tokyo 3 to keep it safe from another attack, as Misato asks for progress with a dummy plug. We then got Ritsuko with Gendo in front of said prototype dummy plug, having transferred Rei's personality into it. The entire reason for these things' existence, as we now know, is to imitate her movements in the EVAs without her having to be inside it. Kinda like an autopilot but personalized to Rei's behavior, which is why she's in that freaky ass tube. Now with Unit 3 on the way, Gendo's telling her to get a fourth pilot for it, and she already has someone in mind. Tells Misato about it with the activation test set for Matsushiro. She is concerned about the new candidate. After school, Shinji and Toji visit Rei to give her some missing school paperwork. Rings the bell but no one answers, so he hits the Shinji classic of just walking in anyway. Slaps the work on her bed and clears up a bit. She strolls in, appreciating his cleaning. Meanwhile, Gendo and his deputy having a religious/philosophical debate on a train and celebrate the completion of Tokyo 3, because the last part of it just got built. Kaji's flirting with Nerve staff when Misato interrupts him. She prods him for information on Adam and the EVA pilot Institute Marduk, skeptical about the coincidental fourth pilot selection timing, and he straight up replies with,
マルドック機関は存在しない。影で操っているのはネルフそのものさ。
and gives her a code to search for.
707シンジ君の学校
She strolls off as Shinji pulls up. He has a chat with Kaji and he shows off his watermelon farm. Cute. Then lets him know Misato wants him for another test. And as it proceeds, Ritsuko realizes Shinji's sync rate is decreasing. Probably because, I don't know, the fucking living nightmare he went through last episode. At school, Ida leaks to Shinji about EVA 3's imminent arrival. How he knew that before Shinji, I do not know.
美里さんからは何も聞いてない
Oh, that's how I guess. When school ends and they leave, Toji stays behind for school duties, and later this girl Hiraki painfully tries to offer him lunch because she's got a little crush. As Asuka locks in trying to get Kaji's attention, but accidentally discovers the fourth pilot's identity, and also does not approve. Whomps the fuck is this fourth pilot, I wonder? In the sky, an American plane is transporting EVA Unit 3. Meanwhile, Misato's updating Shinji on the whole missing second branch and Unit 3's arrival, but when he asks about its pilot, she ain't got nothing to say. Ida pulls up, immediately asking her to let him be the EVA Unit 3 pilot. She chats to Ritsuko about not being able to tell Shinji who the pilot is, with this mysterious pilot only having agreed to put his sister in healthcare. At school, Shinji notices Toji is missing at lunch, as on the rooftop, Rei chats to him about Shinji's unawareness that he is the fourth pilot. They've been hinting at it since last episode. Shit's crazy though, why him of all kids? Misato's observing the delivery of Unit 3, whilst Asuka's with Hiraki talking about her crush on Toji. At night, Asuka's chilling with Shinji, being babysat by Kaji, because Misato's out, and when they go to bed, he asks him about his father, but he hits him with, listen bro, I barely understand myself, don't get me started on other people, especially women, fuck knows what they're thinking.
僕には大人の人は分かりません。
We got the big EVA Unit 3 test in motion, with Misato still reluctant to tell Shinji who's piloting it. All the harmonicas and neural links looking good until... what? At Nerve HQ, Gendo's ordering the immediate launch of all EVAs to the scene of the explosion, and as live footage is shown, we see EVA Unit 3 strolling around with its pilot still inside, unconscious. But Gendo declares it unsavable and orders its immediate elimination now, it having been possessed by the 13th angel. Shinji, receiving those orders, cannot believe they got to fight one of their own, and over the feed, he hears it having taken down EVA Unit 2. As Gendo gives Rei orders of attack, it catches her off guard. Starts taking over her left arm. He coldly orders its amputation despite Rei's neural connection still being intact. Okay, so does he just not feel her left arm anymore? Is that how it works? Because it obviously didn't physically rip her arm off, but she's in pain, so it must have done something. With Unit 0 down as well, all that's left is Shinji. Starts walking him down, cold shot, but he hesitates knowing a fellow pilot is inside. Drop kicks his ass, now behaving like a true animal. Gum grabs him in the throat and starts choking him out. Gendo's berating him for his refusal to fight back because his comrade's inside, but Shinji stands on business, refusing to kill it, leading Gendo to instead order his connection to be severed from EVA 1 and replaced with the prototype dummy plug, that EVA autopilot thing. It activates, locks in, and counter-chokes EVA 3. Then proceeds to break its neck, slam it to the floor, and... Jesus Christ! It just fucking tears it apart. Shinji's inside pleading with his father to stop it, as it grabs the pilot cockpit. Holy fuck! EVA 1 has just obliterated EVA 3 and its pilot. At the scene of the explosion, Misato wakes up to Kaji by her side as he tells her about what just went down.
私シンジ君に何も話してない
Still inside EVA 1, Shinji gets informed that the pilot did not die, fucking how, and is shown the pilot to be Toji Suzuhara, causing him to fucking tweak.
シンジ君シンジ君
Yeah, pretty understandable at this point, to be honest. At Nerve, Shinji is straight up refusing to reconnect to EVA 1, demanding a response from his father about what just went down. Gendo couldn't give less of a shit though and orders some techno gizmo to knock him out. At the scene of the incident, Misato is chatting to Ritsuko about how they had to physically force Shinji out the mech, and then both agreeing, along with Rei and Asuka, that this is probably his breaking point. Toji wakes up in a hospital next to him and enters a dreamlike environment with him and Rei talking about his daddy issues. Back to reality with Hikari by his side and Shinji no longer there, with him having been asleep for 3 days. Shinji's in handcuffs in front of Gendo because of him disobeying orders, him saying, I ain't piloting that shit ever again. Alright then, fuck off. Bet. Gendo then declares Rei as the default pilot for EVA 1. At the train station, Misato says her departing words to Shinji, revealing that literally everyone in his class were EVA pilot candidates. Yes, even Ida. Explaining why Toji was chosen as the fourth, with his final words being,
僕はもうエヴァには乗りません。
but just as he's about to leave, another angel's on the way. Nerve has already started firing at it. Wait, this one looks like that one Ben 10 alien. What was his name again? Cannonbolt, that's the one. Mr. Cannonbolt, just like the rest, completely disregard all their standard weaponry. Misato immediately stations EVA 2 in preparation for its approach, and with EVA 0 still one-armed, it ain't gonna be much help with this one. So they slap Rei in EVA 1, but when they try to boot it up, it rejects her. Alright, fuck it. Load the dummy plug into EVA 1 and slap her in EVA 0. Outside, Shinji's vow is already being tested as he watches the havoc Angel Cannonbolt is causing. Blows right through the last layer of defense and breaches underground. Immediate mag dump on it by Asuka. Don't seem to affect it though. More guns then. Nope. Alright, RPGs. Unleashes some paper tentacles and slices both of her arms off. Asuka desperately charges at it. In a shelter, Shinji's daydreaming when EVA 2's head slams in front of him. With it now completely destroyed, it casually slides past it and onto the next target. But when they try to load EVA 1 with a dummy plug, it also rejects it. Damn, EVA 1 is a clingy bitch, huh? It only fucks with Shinji all of a sudden. With the battle now in front of his eyes, the literal last thing I expected to see is Kaji right next to him just watering his watermelons. Because he got fired from the battle station because of his whole double agent thing.
葛城の胸の中もいいが、やはり死ぬ時はここにいたいからね。
Remarkable line right there. He then drops the absolute bombshell of a reveal that if any angel comes into contact with Adam downstairs, it will cause the third impact to occur, ending humanity. Shinji then bears witness as Rei goes suicide mode, sprinting at the angel with an N2 nuke, rips open its AT field, and... but not even that is enough to stop it. With some inspirational words by Kaji, with all other options gone, and his mind now decided, he shouts, I'm not kidding, I timed it since he declared he would never pilot an Eva again. It's only been 6 minutes and 57 seconds. Don't get me wrong, he had no choice. Still though, pretty funny, eh? The angel breaches the final defense and comes face to face with the crew. Just as... Eva 1 grabs a hold of it, goes for a left, but it slices his arm off. God damn, this nigga's cold. Slams it right up against the launch panel and gets sent right back up to the surface. Smashes it on the ground and starts ripping its face off when... runs out of power. Gets tossed into a hill as he desperately tries moving it, but... he keeps stabbing at it, but its organic insides absorb the strikes. Many more desperate cries to move from Shinji when... Eva 1 wakes up, grabs its tentacles, forces it close range and snaps him off, then uses them to grow itself a new arm. Fucking how? Because its sync rate to Shinji has absolutely skyrocketed, apparently meaning it's unlocked a few new powers. Hits a motherfucking Sukuna cleave, annihilating Angel Cannonbolt, starts walking on all fours onto it, and begins to feast. Maybe it's just hungry. Its mechanical outer shell drops off. The Ultimech was actually restrained on its true power, having now become completely uncontrollable by humankind. Another council meeting got them obviously concerned about what just happened, afraid that it goes against the ever so prophetic SEAL scenario. With the Evas completely fucked and Central Command in an absolute state, Nerve has got a real mess to clean up, using a backup station in the meantime. Misato's in front of the psychotic looking Eva 1, being uncertain if they can stop another unexpected awakening again. Looks pretty awake to me right now, I don't know. With the council up Gendo's ass about the whole mess, he's got Eva 1 on lockdown until further orders from them. One tiny little problem, however, Shinji's still inside it, because it's rejecting ejection. But when they look at the cockpit footage, bro's just not there. Ritsuko explaining that he is now fully assimilated into Eva itself, whatever that means. She also explains how the Evangelions are objects similar in shape to humans, created by humans, being given a human will and everything, so they're never fully in Nerve's control. Misato don't fuck with that answer though, demanding her to fix him at any cost. Rei's in hospital, somehow having survived a nuke point blank, and Asuka's at home pissed because Shinji defeated the angel and she failed. Next day, Ritsuko's explaining the plan to rescue Shinji, him currently in a fucking quantum state according to them, needing to be reconstructed like a big old set of Lego, and with a little help from the Magi supercomputers, they can get it done. Inside Eva 1, Shinji has fully disassociated from his ego, having to re-remember everything he was, is, and could be. He also debates the concept of the enemy, and comes to the conclusion that his father is his true enemy. Get brought back to the elevator with Rei, them talking about his father. Pretty much boils down to his remarkably shattered relationship with Gendo, and his realization that on the day of him first seeing Eva 1, he recognized it, as if he had seen it before. Cut to over a week later, they're still trying to reconstruct Shinji from his primordial soup state. More self-reflection with Shinji and Rei about his desire to pilot the Evas due to his appraisal complex from his peers. Whoa. Nope, not doing that, nope. With all preparations completed, they begin the Shinji salvaging operation. It starts to fail as his ego is looping, him seemingly uncertain whether to return at all. They can't even sustain the state he was originally in, and when things get worse, the pilot cockpit opens and spills out onto the floor. As Misato weeps, pleading for his rescue, he regains memories from his past, Gendo and his mother talking about him. When? Blood just respawns, I guess. A few days later, these two yap about Eva 1's repairs being nearly complete when Misato drops her off and heads over to hook up with Kaji. After a session, she again probes him for information on Nerve's true plans, but he ain't giving her much, instead distracting her with more... oh, yeah, I'ma just leave him to it. Flashback to the year 2000 in Antarctica. This episode's a whole lot of lore, so let's dig into it. Some scientists talking about the S2 drive and its place in powering the Titanic Evas and Angels alike. Get a little glimpse into the moments before the second impact, but it cuts out. Then got Misato being informed on the deputy commander's apparent kidnapping, with their intel leading them to suspect Kaji as the culprit. Therefore, some suspicion falls on Misato herself due to their close relationship, and an investigation commences. Now with the deputy, he's in front of the council with them posing as SEAL itself. Wait, is the council SEAL? They call him by his name, Professor Fuyutsuki, and ask him for his assistance in their plans, not wanting the all-powerful Eva 1 to fall into the hands of Gendo, as their distrust of him continues to increase. Get another little flashback to 1999 with Fuyutsuki meeting Shinji's mother, Yui Hikari, then meeting Gendo himself, him having just been released from prison for a bar fight. Over time, he sees the relationship between Gendo and Yui grow stronger, but he believed Gendo only dated Yui for her connections to a group named SEAL. In 2002 at a port, he's running a humble medicinal clinic when he's asked by the UN to go on an expedition back to Antarctica. And on it, he gets told by Gendo about his marriage to Yui and their child, and realizes the only reason he was invited on this expedition was to avoid having only suspicious members of SEAL, like Gendo, be able to research there. Baby Misato is on board, still being mute since the second impact she experienced 2 years ago. Too many mysteries in the incident got him puzzled as the UN falsely labels it as a meteor impact, with SEAL and a man named Kill at the center of all these unknowns. In 2003, he sees Yui again, but he acts a lot colder towards her this time. He then proceeds to grill Gendo about covering up the second impact and the giant figures, declaring he knew that catastrophe was going to occur before it did, which is why he left the day before it happened. He threatens him with going public with all his findings, but Gendo decides to show him what they've been up to. As they travel deep underground, it opens up into a perfect dome cave. Look familiar? It having existed before humans ever discovered it, identical to what was found under Antarctica. He then sees Ritsuko's mother Akagi as she designs the foundation of the Magi system, her being part of a separate group called Gehirn. They then show him a primordial giant, with them having created it from Adam and called it, as they ask him to join them on their cutting-edge research, Project E. 2005 got a younger Ritsuko meeting with Misato for the first time, sparking a friendship, and she introducing her to her at-the-time boyfriend Kaji. That's one handsome-looking dude right there, with the construction of Tokyo 3 having just begun. Back in 2003, God, we're just zipping all over the place, hey? Professor Fuyutsuki is trying to convince Yui to not be a test subject for Steele's experiment, but to no avail. She expresses her desire to do it for her son. 2004 got a baby Shinji strolling around the lab as his mother undergoes an experiment, but it fails, leading to her death. Then got Fuyutsuki in front of Gendo as he proposes the human instrumentality project for the first time, due to it being greenlit by the chairman Kill. 2008, more developments got the place looking a lot more familiar, but Ritsuko catches her mother hooking up with Gendo. Ooh. 2010, baby Ray's being introduced to the science crew, but Akagi recognizes the child, does some research and comes to the realization that Ray is a fucking clone of Shinji's mother Yui. Now with the Magi complete, Akagi's about to boot it up when baby Ray pops in and starts calling her a bitch, only cause she's been hearing Gendo calling her it previously. But Akagi just fucking snaps and starts choking the life out of her. Little over the top, I must say, but hey, kids can be pricks. She then kills herself via falling to death on top of the very supercomputer she built. After this incident, the chairman Kill dissolved the Gerin group along with all its scientists and replaced it with a familiar name, Nerve. Back in the present, my man Kaji pulls up to the deputy commander Fuyutsuki and frees him. The deputy warns him he would face grave consequences for this. With the investigation complete, Special Intelligence frees Misato, and at night she returns to the crib, with Shinji listening to his playlist. She notices a voicemail, and when she plays it, she hears Kaji telling her to keep digging for the truth and to water his melons for him. Don't tell me they killed this nigga. He was my favorite character, man. Fuck! On a boat, my goat Kaji's chilling with Asuka, with them sailing to Japan to meet up with Misato. So this is the past then. Shit, they really did slime him out. God fucking damn it. Kaji tries motivating a reluctant Asuka to look forward to Japan, but she only cares about him. Whoa. Kaji rejects Asuka's wishes because you can never catch my goat looking at children that way. Flashback to baby Asuka at her mother's funeral, her having committed suicide. Seems she had some mental problems talking to a doll as if it was Asuka despite her being right there. I'm starting to understand where Asuka got her adult complex from. Man, everyone in this show is just all sorts of fucked up, huh? In the present, during a test, Ritsuko noticed Asuka's sync rate is decreasing as repairs begin on both EVA 2 and 0. While Misato laments on the irony of the EVAs used to defend humanity from angels may end up destroying them in another impact scenario, she gets informed that all EVA units up through 13's construction have begun all around the world, with her concern that this entails a battle-scarred future. Back at home, got an awkward as hell evening meeting. Even Pen's like, fuck this, I'm out. Asuka is seemingly isolating herself more and more from Misato and Shinji, declaring her hatred for everything and everyone around her. And when another test commences, Ritsuko sees her sync rate dropping even further. These two yap a bit about Asuka's disintegrating pride ever since Shinji beat the angel she couldn't. An awkward ass elevator ride. Alright, I'm kind of there. They held that one frame for 52 seconds straight. Finally, Ray says something, trying to help her with her EVA issues, saying the EVAs have a heart and she's got to listen to it or something. Asuka ain't having it though, calling her a heartless doll, and when Ray chats back, smacks her ass. With EVA 2 now fully reconstructed, she has a little pep talk with it as Angel number 15 arrives. Another one in space. Like the big black ball, it's playing passive for now, just floating above the earth, leaving Misato to call upon Ray in EVA 0 for a long-distance sniping operation, and put Shinji and Asuka on supporting duties. Of course, Asuka ain't having none of that, and just launches out solo. Misato lets her do it though, this seemingly being her final shot, because if she fails, she might just get replaced. It's a rainy-ass day outside as Asuka acquires the sniper, tries to aim at it, but it's too far away when the fuck? A blinding beam stuns her, so she just lets it loose. Of course, missing every shot. This attack seems purely psychological though, as she starts freaking out, pleading with it to stop invading her mind. That's not the word she used, but I'm not using the other one. Misato orders her to withdraw to avoid any further neuro damage, but she refuses. Rei in EVA 0 charges her sniper up and fires, reaching it, but it gets reflected by its AT field.
まさか使徒は人の心を知ろうとして
Another deep dive into her psyche and her desperate desire to simply be seen and desired. I think these types of scenes in the show are absolutely spectacular, but boy are they confusing. With her mind having been utterly defiled in her words, EVA 2 begins to shut down, endangering her life in the process. With Rei unable to strike the angel, Shinji offers to try in EVA 1, but Gendo ain't willing to risk any more uncertainties with Unit 1, instead ordering Rei to wield the Spear of Longinus against it. Misato then realizes Gendo would never risk an EVA in contact with Adam downstairs, because that would cause a third impact, meaning that the idea that contact with an angel leads to the second impact was a lie. Okay then, so what the fuck was the cause? EVA 0 descends deep underground to acquire the spear from the chest of Adam, while the deputy commander warns Gendo about going against the council's wishes, rips that shit out and arrives back at the surface. Fucking yeets that bitch out into space, through its AT field, and obliterates Angel 15. Now that I think about it, that's the most angel we've seen so far, if you get me. Also, they now can't even retrieve the spear, because she threw it so hard, it entered the Earth's orbit. You mean to tell me Rei just threw that shit at over 17,000 miles per hour? No fucking way. With the situation resolved, Shinji tries to check up on Asuka, but obviously, she ain't happy that she had to be saved by Rei. At home, Misato's struggling to deal with Kaji's death, while outside, Shinji and Pen fail to check up on Asuka. At Hikari's crib, Asuka's been playing video games all day, and when they try to go to sleep, she's still in her feelings about her angel failures. Gendo's talking to the Seal Council about his blunderous usage of the Spear of Longinus going against their prepared plans, but their session gets interrupted as another angel's on the way. Misato, driving to Nerve, orders EVAs 2 and 0 to launch, with EVA 1 still on lockdown from the council, and Asuka in EVA 2 is still missing her pride.
どうでもいいわよ。もう
We get a good look at Angel 16. It's just a big glowing circle, kinda like a halo. It's playing passive again, but this time instead of striking it first, they're just gonna sit around to see what it does. But its passiveness doesn't last long. Stretches out and darts at EVA 0. Rei point blank mag dumps her sniper into it, doing no damage as it begins to corrupt her. With EVA 0 pinned down, they send Asuka and EVA 2 to back it up, but due to her sync rate being rock bottom, she can't even move the damn thing, so they drop her back down. As it continues to corrupt Rei, she enters a vision, seeing the angel possess her form to communicate, asking her to accept assimilation. And outside, shit's looking real bad. Bad enough that Gendo releases the lockdown on EVA 1, launching Shinji outside to rescue Rei. It immediately shifts its target to him, dodges that shit, but it destroys his gun. Grabs a hold of it as it starts corrupting him, but backs out the shank and gets a good stab in. In defense then, it starts to mold into the shape of Rei, but she halts its assault on Shinji by allowing it to assimilate into her. Misato pleads with her to eject, but knowing it could escape again, she refuses. When... having defeated the angel, seemingly at the cost of her life. A search operation occurs with Ritsuko finding what's left of Rei still inside the pilot cockpit. With 16 angels having been defeated, the Council of Seal is saying how, according to their Dead Sea Scrolls, whatever they are, only one angel remains until their predicted scenario arrives. Also, due to Deputy Fuyutsuki's release unharmed, they're wanting another, in their words, sacrificial lamb. In bed, Shinji's trying to listen to his playlist when Misato pulls up, trying to console him after the loss of Rei, but he rejects her. The next day, Misato picks up a call, then immediately yells out to Shinji. At the hospital, Shinji visits a very much alive Rei. Okay, so from what I think I know from episode 20, there's no way that is the same Rei, right? She's just another clone. Shit, how many different Reis have we seen since the beginning of the show? My theory is immediately confirmed, is when Shinji goes to thank her for saving him, she doesn't remember anything, saying,
多分私は3人目だと思うから。
At Rei's home, she takes off her bandages, revealing absolutely no injuries. Damn, the whole hospital thing is a complete facade set up by Gendo as a cover? Fucking crazy. In front of Gendo, Deputy Fuyutsuki highly disapproves of Rei's return, telling him, the Seal Council's gonna fucking hate you for this, mate. Nuh-uh, I sent them a little something for their forgiveness. Got a butt-naked Ritsuko in front of the Seal Council, Gendo having sent her as a proxy instead of Rei.
レイの代わり私が
Back with Misato, she finds some data Kaji smuggled to her in order to continue to finish the hunt for the truth that he started. The Seal Council releases Ritsuko for now and discusses their growing armament of Evangelions. Sorry, what? At home, Shinji gets a call from Ritsuko to meet up with her, and underground, she's trying to open a door, but gets caught lacking by Misato, demanding to see the secrets of Nerve. She agrees, as Shinji pops in, him seemingly joining them to witness the big truth nuke. Take an elevator deeper underground and into an apartment similar to Rei's one, because it is Rei's one, as she reveals to Shinji this is where she was born, as well as showing a mountain of Evangelion corpses from previous failures over the years. Going on a whole secret tour here over to the dummy plug production room with the big old test tube where Rei resided in. And when she presses a button, See a whole lot of Rei clones. Okay, some lore drops here. I'm gonna try my damn hardest to make sense of them. These Reis we see here aren't really Rei because they got no soul, being used just for spare parts for the real Rei and for production of the dummy plug autopilot things. 15 years ago in Antarctica, they supposedly found God and tried using him, which led to the second impact. So instead, they tried to resurrect God, which is Adam. They then used Adam to make the Evangelions, which, like I said previously, are essentially soulless humans, and imbued them with a soul via Rei. God, I hope I got even 10% of that right. Realizing just like her mother, she was manipulated by Gendo at every step, in an act of defiance, he destroys the dummy Reis and asks Misato to kill her, but she refuses, leading her to break down. Whew, let's make a video on Evangelion. How hard can it be? Fuck me, man. Got another dreamlike scenario with Asuka calling out to her mother for approval for being an evil pilot, but Jesus. Then see her in a fucked up bathroom dwelling on her sync rate, causing her to no longer be an EVA pilot, as nerve agents pop in and reapprehend her, because she's been missing for like a week. Misato saying her replacement pilot will arrive today. Gendo's with Ritsuko asking her why she destroyed the dummy system, her rebuttaling with the fact that he used to fuck her. I don't know if it was consensual or not, which no longer makes her happy. I don't know. Shinji's pondering where Asuka went and ends up at a beach, also lamenting on the fact that both his pals Toji and Ida all fled Tokyo 3 because their houses got destroyed, leaving him isolated and friendless.
どうすればいい？
Next to him though, this random kid appears yapping about songs. He introduces himself as Kaworu Nagisa and reveals he is the 5th EVA pilot, aka Asuka's replacement. During a trial sync test, they realize that he is so gifted he is able to sync to EVA 2 without a core replacement, being fundamentally impossible in the staff's word, so it must be a big deal. He then meets Rei for the first time, believing they are similar in more ways than one. Shinji's listening to his playlist as Kaworu pulls up. They talk a bit in the bathroom about Shinji's intimacy complex, but when it closes, they make plans to head back home.
ガラスのように繊細だね。特に君の心は。
He's got Shinji read as a beetroot with his charming words. Is Shinji gay? If he is, it would explain a lot. Council Seal was saying how Nerve was built to serve them, but Gendo's fucking around too much, so he's got to pay. As he's talking to Evil 1 about the promised day drawing closer and closer, then calls it Yui. Weird. With the angel battles now threatening Pen's life due to their proximity, Misato decides to send him to Hikari's place to keep him safe. Good call, better safe than sorry. If Pen dies, I'll stop watching this shit. I don't give a fuck. Aww, he's so cute. At Kaworu's place, Shinji's sleeping over, talking to him about his daddy issues. Cut to Kaworu in front of the Seal Council, them asking him to help in preventing Gendo accomplish his goals of gaining the power of a god. That's what they said, I still don't know what Gendo's plan is. They remark that Kaworu's soul was derived from that of Adam himself, but Adam's physical flesh resides in Gendo, probably that weird thing on his hand. Misato's trying to spy on his behavior, but can't make out what he's saying nor who he's saying it to.
全てはリリンの流れのままに。
This guy's always saying some bullshit, bro. Misato's with a nerve scientist as she continues to dig into all the unknowns revolving around Kaworu, including the ridiculous fact that he can at will alter his sync rate to any EVA he wishes. Absurd. She asks Ritsuko what his deal is.
おそらく最後の死者。
What, of Christ himself? What does that mean? Holy shit, maybe he is Jesus Christ. He auto-activates EVA 2, and when Nerve staff analyzes him further, they realize that he is an angel. What? Deputy orders all gates to be sealed as Gendo realizes Seal is brute forcing the last angel standoff using them as the catalyst. He orders EVA 1 to halt the angel descent down to Adam, with Shinji utterly refusing to believe he's now got to fight his boy Crush. As it descends further down with EVA 2, Shinji reaches him and the EVAs clash. They mirror match each other, both backing out the tank, but EVA 2 strikes first, causing Shinji to play defense as he struggles to understand why Kaworu would do this. Him explaining that he's made of the same flesh as the EVAs, then both having been created by Adam. A reflective strike gets blocked by his AT field.
そう、君たちリリンはそう呼んでるね。
So when he says Linlin, does he just mean humanity then? Shinji, distracted by his words, gets a shank to the chest and replies with a strike to the dome. The angel then pops the largest AT field ever recorded, blocking off all contact by Nerve to Shinji as they plummet to the bottom floor. The angel smoothly slides over to Adam's resting point in order to start the third impact, while Shinji desperately duels EVA 2. Another massive AT field is deployed and then vanishes when we see Rei spectating the showdown. And as the angel approaches Adam, upon further inspection, he realizes it's not Adam but Lilith. At this point, man, I don't know. EVA 2 crashes inside, having been defeated by Shinji, as he grabs a hold of the angel and continues to try to make sense of Kaworu's words.
カオル君、君が何を言ってるのかわかんないよ。
He then asks Shinji to destroy him in order to save humankind, because apparently life and death are identical in his eyes, so he don't mind being killed. And after a whole lot of hesitation, a fucking minute and 3 seconds to be exact, he kills the angel. Back at the beach, Shinji's with Misato, grieving the fact that the literal only person to say to him that they liked him, he had to kill. Misato coldly states to him, hey man, he had it coming bro, survival of the fittest, you know, he chose death, so that's what he got.
冷たいね、ミサトさん。
Shinji's in deep regret about killing Kaoru, arguing that he had to do it because he was an angel. Hey, it's that one image. Despite him believing he had to kill him, it still does not mend his now tumultuous soul. He then finds himself in a mystical environment, calling out to Misato and everyone else he's met along his EVA career. In the clutches of EVA 1 and then back in the chair, he debates his reason for being an EVA pilot, declaring it's simply to help others. Asuka pops in, countering his argument, saying he does it for himself, and as Rei pops in behind her, we shift to the psyche of Asuka. Inside EVA 2, Rei tells her to confront her major separation and recognition anxiety, when we then shift to Rei herself, and her multiple versions of herself as she reflects on who she truly is, as well as her desire to be returned to nothingness, but Gendo keeps bringing her back. We then see him in front of her saying,
今日この日のためにお前はいたのだ。
with the great human instrumentality project seemingly completed. Got a fucking dead Ritsuko Misato as Gendo explains the concept of the instrumentality project, as Misato argues with Ritsuko about the project and its true nature. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain this now. From what they've been saying, I believe they're gonna like kill everyone on Earth and like merge their hearts together in order to remove a certain darkness found inside the hearts of all people. This is all very ambiguous at the moment, so we just gotta wait and see, I guess. It's Misato's turn to sit upon the chair with Shinji next to her asking what she desires. Her saying that she used to want to be, quote, a good girl and support her mother because her father was always absent, but now she is sick and tired of that role, wanting to free herself of her cleanliness and rather reside in filth. Not actual filth, metaphorical filth. Then she reflects on her relationship with Kaji, declaring she really did love him, but when a certain scene is shown, she's embarrassed to let Shinji witness it. Eventually, she realized she ran away from Kaji due to seeing her father inside him, and rejecting the happiness that he brought her. She also rejects the many proclamations that Shinji, Ritsuko, pretty much everyone is saying due to all their hearts now being one. I think I'm starting to understand this instrumentality more now. It's like a group chat, but mentally based, allowing everyone to see all sides and thoughts of each other's hearts, their true desires. Next up is Asuka's turn on the chair as Shinji shares his heart with her and her vice versa. Again, he asks her what she desires, her reflecting on her deep, deep crave of attention and love due to the severe lack of it from both her real and adopted mothers. In a stage-esque scene, Misato, along with all the rest of the folks from the show, explain to Shinji the concept of reality being a world where he decides how to interpret and accept things. That line just then was ripped straight from the show, I don't give a fuck, it was fire. And that the place he sees before him is the reality he constructed for himself as his heart desired a world only fit for his comfort, completely closed off from everything else in order to protect his fragile self.
あなた自身が導いたこの世の終わりなのよ。
My god, this is without a doubt the biggest mindfuck I've gotten from a show in recent memory. I still probably got half that wrong as well, that's the funny part. Woo, goddamn. Now in 2016, still neck deep in instrumentality, we return to Shinji's heart with Misato listing all of his fears, with everyone saying that they share the same problems. That's that universal darkness within the heart they were talking about, with them wanting to fix it by merging all hearts together as one, thus the point of the instrumentality project. Gendo saying without it they can no longer survive. They all dive into the concept of running from pain and fear, and the paradox that it leads to even more pain and fear. Then Shinji himself recognizes his universal belief of self-worthlessness as a foundation leading him to a desire to pilot the EVAs to be seen and accepted.
ヘバに乗ることで僕は僕でいられる。
Apparently these inner reflections are occurring to literally everyone on Earth simultaneously, but because showing that would take an outrageous amount of time, we're focusing on Shinji's heart specifically. He truly does hate himself, and therefore assumes everyone else also hates him. We get shown an awesome sequence as those he's protected this whole show express their understanding that if he continues down the path of piloting the EVAs as his only form of identity, if removed, he will be left with truly nothing. Some shots of rain, the sunset, morning, the sky, and all the feelings that come with them. Shinji sees the many forms that he takes and has taken, all being different elements making up his identity, but is still unsure of who he truly is. In less detailed forms, his peers motivate him to rely on himself and not others, but he is still afraid of what that entails. He then enters a blank world, full of nothing at all. In fear of what to do in it, his father creates the concept of up and down for him to use as a foundation, as he then begins to manipulate his new environment by walking, twisting its orientation, and altering his own form. His peers gently guide him as he begins to understand how, despite him being his own self, that other people also make up parts of himself, as he wakes up in his room with Asuka in front of him, saying he's going to be late for school. While in the kitchen, his mother Yui washes up as his father Gendo reads a newspaper. These two head out for school, and as they're running, they mention a new student is arriving today, being Rei, as they bump into each other. At school, he chats to his boys Ida and Toji about getting a peek at Rei's pants when they collided. Apparently so. Outside, Misato pulls up and she introduces Rei to the class. Zooming out, we see Shinji again, understanding that the world we've been looking at is a possibility inside him, and back at the stage environment in his enclosed reality, his people are telling him to stop worrying about how others perceive him, and to simply be kinder to himself. When?
僕はここにいてもいいのかもしれない。そうだ。僕は僕でしかない。
His own self-worth begins to flourish, literally breaking down his isolated reality, as his people applaud him for finally being able to find himself.
おめでとう。
ありがとう。
This show gets 47 harmonicas out of 50 bathroom sinks. Hey, they never explain why only 14-year-olds pilot EVAs. Maybe I missed it. Unless someone comments the answer, I'm gonna just search it up.